Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu and I'm bringing out this video of me playing a board game, and today I'm going to be playing this game, The Golden Age of Piracy 1718. It is a lovely day here and I'm off work, so I was like, hey, let me go ahead and just finally play through this game that I've been trying to learn and get enough understanding of the rules and play through. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into this game. I will start by saying, and I'll try to make sure to say this every time, like especially if this becomes a multi-part series, I will start by saying that I'm probably going to get a lot of rules wrong. The rule book is very frustrating for this one, but I've done my best to kind of go through the charts and learn the game, and even started working on my own improvements for the rule book. So we'll see if that ever goes anywhere, or if I just let that be a project that doesn't go anywhere. But nevertheless, let me go and get our background music started, because I love my background music here. And let's go ahead and get started with the game. So this game is going to be a little bit difficult to kind of show everything at the same time. So I'm gonna have some analogs here to kind of show different things. But the Golden Age of Piracy, the whole goal of the game is for you to become or live your life as a pirate and then get a pardon. The game takes place over a year, and I don't have the calendar. Did I have the calendar? I don't see it. The game takes place over a year. You can either play a short game or a half game. A long game or a short game. I'm gonna play a long game. And if this becomes a multi-part series, and so be it, but it shouldn't take, a full campaign in this game, which is a whole calendar year. Each calendar year is a round, essentially. Yeah, you basically play 360 rounds, and then the game's over. You either get pardoned and you win, you score some points, or you don't get pardoned and you die, or you die somewhere along the way. Because death is a thing in this game. You can die, and permadeath. So that goes a long way to say that, this might be a multi-part series depending on how well I do or how well I don't do. It might just be a short video series, and you guys will say, oh man, look, CulBlu got all those rules wrong. But what we're looking at here, and I'll just kind of bring our camera down, what we're looking at here is these are some of the charts that you have. This chart here, these two charts were provided by somebody from Board Game Geek. I forgot their name. I'll look them up here so I can give them a shout out, because these have saved a lot of space. But essentially, you'll have a lot of charts that you'll use to keep track of stuff. And one of the things that you'll notice about this game is that the map, which if we go back to our view up here, the map is just basically this. So I'll be venturing on the map, and it's almost like one can think of this as a solo RPG in almost the truest sense, where you just basically do a bunch of rolls, do some lookup tables, have some consequences, have some decision tree things that you're making. Not necessarily choose your own adventure situation, but just kind of run around, be a pirate, do pirate things within the context and the confines of what they give you to do those things in. And the person who made the chart was Designer78. So Designer78, shout out to you. You saved a lot of space on my table. But going back down to our charts down here, these two charts will be the main charts I'll be using to kind of track my pirate crew and my pirate health. And these markers will be marking different things. There's a lot of stuff to look at, but don't worry, you'll be staring at the stuff up here, which is a summarized version of it. And I'll be announcing a lot of different things and stats as we go along, instead of having you focus on this, because I just need this to track. I don't need this to guide you through what's going on or talk through what's going on. So that's kind of the main thing. Like I said before, there's a whole bunch of charts that you'll have for this game. This is chart number 13, table number 13, not table, chart 13. I don't know what you want to call it. But this is the Pirate Haven warship Marines. So if I'm ever fighting my Pirate Haven's fighting a warship, then here's all the stuff. They're trying to invade my Pirate Haven and take me out. Here's Town Combat, another table that I'll probably use off screen. Here's the buried treasure stuff. Here's some other things, and yeah, there's 17 different tables and charts. These two papers here, as you can see, correspond to 4, 5, and 6, and then 10, 11, 12. So instead of having chart 10, 11, and 12 on the table, it's all consolidated here. Instead of having chart 10, 11, and 12, it's all consolidated here. Did I say 10, 11, 12 twice? Anyway, whatever I said. What I'm trying to say is that this consolidates a lot of stuff, saves a lot of space. So I appreciate that. So thank you, Designer78. And on other modifications, I made this mod here. So instead of using the calendar, all I did was I basically just photocopied the calendar that the game comes with. And then I cut it and put it on some cards that fit into a card sleeves. And essentially that's going to be this entire calendar, but just month by month. So I can kind of keep that so people can see what round I'm on, because this is a dry erase board. I didn't say that earlier. But essentially, as you pass through the days, you'll be marking them off to keep track of what day it is, And in the first month, nothing really big happens. It's just kind of going about your way. But as you get to like February, March, April, May, all those other months, you'll have events that pop up, and we'll do whatever those events say as we go along. So those are things to keep in mind for the tables. For the calendar, like I said before, I got my haphazardly made stack of cards over here that have the different months on them, and it has all the markings. And then I have another reference card that's very crudely glued together. As you can see, the glue dried in a way that didn't correspond to flat-laying paper, but it has all the reminders there. This will all be off screen. You won't see that. The only thing you'll see is just the calendar month. So I'm explaining all these things to let you know that there's a lot of stuff to keep track of stuff. And in addition to that stuff, there's also a charts and tables book. And I'll definitely talk about this in my review. And this is kind of acting as like the teaching of this game. But the teaching of this game, it's a little bit unorthodox, because the rulebook here has kind of some generic like overview things. And when I say generic, I mean generic, like very generic. Like the first page is probably the most useful one, which basically says a turn represents a day in the game, and then you have combat rounds that can happen, and then you move around. And then after that, it just starts explaining what different components are and what they do, or sorry, what they mean. And you won't find any like how to play the game from here, to be honest, and it's really frustrating. So again, I'll talk about it in my review for sure. And going through here, I'll tell you some stuff about what each different chip means and what the counters are named, and I appreciate that part. This is not the review, so I'll talk more about the review stuff later. So all that goes along when I say that this table, or this book here, is going to be my Bible. I'm going to be using this, referring to this religiously. It's going to have all the charts and tables that I'm going to need for lookup stuff for my day-to-day when I'm just trying to sail along. I'll be spending a lot of time in this section. Again, you won't see this on screen. It'll be off screen, and I'll announce what the results are and what they are, what they do. But essentially, it's going to be a lot of dice rolling, a lot of D10 dice rolling. I have my set of dice all over here. My little Game Genic token silo container. So I got some percent dice here. I got some 4 sets of D10s essentially. The white and black, these dice are what the game comes with. So they give you 10 D10s, 5 black, 5 white. But I went out and got myself 10 reds, 10 of these blue white ones, and then some percent dice to kind of help me out, because you will be doing percent rolls and stuff. I also have some counters in there and all kinds of other stuff. And then finally, off screen, I have this to help me keep track of what I need and quickly find the little bits and pieces and chits that I need. So, okay, cool. Now that we've established a lot of stuff that I have, there's some more stuff off screen that you're not seeing. Just know it's keeping track of stuff in charts and whatnot. Okay, cool. Let's get started. So, in order to start this game, and I don't think I still have it set up, but I will check. Oh no, okay, so I still have the short game stuff. Oh, that sucks. Okay. All right, well, I don't know if I can fix that right now, so I'll just bring this on screen. Like I said, we're gonna play a long game. Originally, I was gonna play a short game, but I figured that I might just do a long game, because if I die, I die. So let me adjust the camera down to here. Where's my remote? I don't know where it went. There it is. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're essentially gonna do the steps that are on the back of the book. Again, another frustration that I have with this game, and I'll talk about way more in my review, I promise. But I'm just mentioning it here because it really grinded my gears. The rulebook didn't have a how to start. So you have to go to the charts and tables book, subsequently not known as the rulebook, but the charts and tables book. And one of the things it gives you is a new game setup. So that was very frustrating. And then when you go to that section for new game setup, it says look at the back of the rulebook, and it's like, oh my gosh, why is this so complicated? Please just duplicate it. Anyway, now that I've got my venting session out, oops, we can do that. There we go, zoom in. All right, enhance. So we're gonna do all the stuff for the new game setup. I will be what the new game setup is here. Like I said, actually, hold on. I have 2 cameras. 1 second. What am I doing? I'm doing things the silly way. All right, let me set up my other camera, because I clearly planned this out. Let's see. Here's my other camera, and let's zoom in. Let's move that down. Okay, good. All right, almost there. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Got it. Okay. And hopefully this video will help out other people who are trying to learn how to play this game. The game is not that complicated. It's surprisingly not that deep, which sounds a little weird me saying it loud, but it's not that deep. And when I say not that deep, I mean the rules aren't like super ultra complicated. It's just basically go to this chart for this thing, go to that chart for that thing. That's kind of the entire flow of the game, and I appreciate it for that. Like it's not a bad thing. It just means that you don't have to overcomplicate it. It's not as complicated as you might want, or as I might want to make it. All right, so let's see. Let's crop in this. I'm just making a scene on the fly here, so we can kind of see our game setup at the same time that we're seeing everything else. Thank you for bearing with me there. And there we go. All right, that's good. So let's bring that over. Okay, so here we have the things. When I roll my dice, you'll see it on this one here. So I'll roll my dice and it'll show up on the overlay. So there you go, you see my dice rolls as we go along. That camera's already set. And then this one is just gonna be showing the setup here. So we're gonna follow through this together, mainly because I want you guys to be able to follow through with me together. So yeah, there you go. Interactive situation. So, new game setup. We're gonna do a long game. So the long game is gonna go from January 1st to December 31st at the latest. So we have a pirate captain, and we are the pirate captain. And we're gonna start off with some set stats. And, oh man, this focus is always gonna be killing me, isn't it? Ugh. That's this focus is gonna get. Okay. I swear I mess with it every single time and it's always the same. So our pirate captain is going to start out with a sloop. So we're going to start out with a ship called a sloop right there. And a sloop is one of the small ships, the smallest ship that I can start with. And let me see how well this is showing up on stream. Because I think it might just be my view. No, it's on the stream too. All right, let me manually focus this. It's about the same. I mean, focus is a little bit fuzzy, but like I said, we'll kind of deal as we go along. Sure. But we have a sloop, so here's our little ship. And on the sloop, I'll bring it over here for a little bit better viewing. It says shallow draft requires seamanship 1. So seamanship, my seamanship is one of my skills that I have. Here's my pirate captain card. I'll bring it all over screen overlay. I have a level, XP, or these are my different skills: haggle, navigation, seamanship, swimming, swordsmanship, tactics. But what we're about to do is we're about to set up the level stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Actually, this is actually working out pretty well. I'm gonna do this. Here we go. Here's a ship I was trying to show you, the sloop. So you can see a little bit better, just a little bit better, not too much better. So my pirate captain starts out with the sloop, so it's not upgraded. It's gonna be docked in Nassau. So on the map up here, we are going to have some things to look at and see. And I see that I've made a mistake. I should have. No. Yeah, a lot of the stuff is going to be on the fly, y'all, so my apologies for the pauses in the middle to kind of fix and make new things. 'Tis the life of doing things live, I tell you. Alright, so let's change this. Delete, and we will add input number 4. Okay, just there we go. All right, and then we'll just shrink that a little bit, and then we'll be good. Shrink a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That works for me. All right. Okay. Cool. I'm happy with that. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go back over here and delete that. Boom, done. Okay, great. Now we got it to where I can get this to go away. That's the main thing. I just needed that to be able to go away. Okay, so what I was gonna show was, what was I gonna show? I was gonna zoom in on the map. That's what I was gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in on the map here so we can get a little bit better review. Again, you kind of got the most view that you're probably gonna get, but my camera is being a little bit weird here, so yeah, the resolution is having some trouble. I'm starting to think that maybe this camera's having some issues that I need to address later, but that's a future me thing. All right, so what we're looking at here is we're looking at the map, and on the map there's going to be a bunch of different locations. One of those locations is Nassau right here, and that's going to be kind of the pirates' location, the main place for the pirates to come from and hang out. And we're also going to have a lot of different locations. Funnily enough, that says Charleston. That should say Georgetown. There's an errata that came with the game that called this out, but I just thought that was pretty funny. But you have different maps and different locations, and I can go all over the place. It's a piece of hair. And oh, there's another piece of hair. Yeah, just hair everywhere. And as far as everything goes, you have some trackers up here for pardons. When I get pardons and where I can go to kind of retire, here's my combat rounds. Whenever I get into a fight, I'll figure out how many rounds I have first, and then we'll set this marker to wherever it goes. For random events, those things can happen, and when they do, they'll show up there and impact me. The weather's tracked down here for if it's good weather or calm wind, or sorry, the wind condition. Generally speaking, calm wind is not good. I don't want calm wind. I also don't want bad weather. So poor weather with light wind is still fine. It might cause a few issues, but I'll have my navigation to help me deal with that. But I need wind to be able to sail across the seas. So according to our setup, going back to what we were here for, according to our setup, we're going to start with a ship, a sloop ship that's going to be docked in Nasu. So we got our sloop and we got our ship docked marker. So sloop right there. And there's our ship docked. There we go. So it's going to be all set. And so that is fine. So now what's next? Our pirate crew is going to consist of 2 main crew units, 40 men, and no cargo, starting gold 5,000. So that's going to be tracked on another sheet that I didn't bring up because, again, it's going to be off screen, but I will bring it over here once I find it. Here's my pirate cargo. Here's my pirate cargo little bit here. And this pirate cargo bit is going to keep track of what my pirate cargo is. You see here, I'm going to be on a sloop, a non-upgraded sloop. There's an upgraded sloop, which is going to be a little bit, or a lot less capacity, but it's going to be a lot more swift and be able to do some stuff. But I have a sloop, just a normal sloop, so 40 cargo storage. My cargo hold is going to have nothing in it. And then I am also going to have 5,000 gold. So lots of writing and erasing things in this game. 5,000. You can see my terrible handwriting right there. Okay, so thank you for the 5,000 gold. And as far as the pirate units were concerned, it said we started with a certain number of pirate units. If I bring this down and move this out of the way, man, again, the camera quality is killing me here. All right, so sure, it's gonna be really blurry, so we're just gonna have to live with it. But going back into what I was talking about, we have a pirate crew, so here's my ship. And my ship is a sloop, so I'm gonna start here on the mark. And then we are going to have our hull for our ship is gonna be over here. So our hull is gonna be here on the sloop level, which is a 4. So my sails is a 4, my hull is a 4. And then we have main crew. This is the number of main crew that you have. I'm going to have 2 crew units, which is going to be a sloop. That's the max for a sloop, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to go there. And that's going to be that. So essentially, you probably will not see this chart again unless I get some damage on my crew, which actually you can kind of see in the main view that we'll be staring at the whole time. But the main thing is that, besides blurry camera situation, the main thing is that this is going to be keeping track of my ship health, and I'll be showing that as we go along. All right, cool. Glad we established that. So going back up to here, bringing back up our setup stuff. I gotta put it back where it was. Where was it? Oh no. Oh, you know what? Oh man, that's a bummer. I didn't save that setting. That's a shame. What a shame. What a shame. All right, let me set my camera back up. Jeez, the things I do live. All right, zoom that back in. Production, I'm telling you, production's a thing. When you're your own one-man show, you run into issues like this every once in a while. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch these 2 cameras because this one is focusing way better than the other one. Anywho, so continuing on with our setup. Sorry, I'm not gonna switch it now, I'll switch it later. But continuing with our setup, we have 5,000 gold. So Pirate Captain, we're gonna start out at level 0 with 0 experience points and 5 Captain skill points. So I get to choose where those points go, but I must put 1 point in seamanship because I'm using a sloop. So that's where we're gonna go into the experience card over here. So actually, is this overlay? No, okay. This is my Pirate Captain card here. I'm gonna have a level of 0, as it said. So I'll just hold this to the side so I can actually write it down. I'm gonna have 0 experience points. and I have 5 skill points to spread between these particular skills down here. So I have 5 skill points. Not YouTube camera. Come on, you can focus. I believe in you. There you go. Good job. So we have 5 skill points to spread between these things. So I'm going to try a strategy that I saw somebody else do in one of their playthrough videos. So I'm going to set my seamanship to 2, and I'm going to set my navigation to 3, and everything else is going to be 0. So that's going to be my starting spot. And my goal is to max out my navigation because I don't want to die. So seamanship is going to be at 2, and then navigation's at 3. Everything else is at 0. And again, the thinking behind that is that I'll be able to survive long enough to be able to skill up and level up, because essentially every fight that I get into, as long as I'm fighting just a normal ship, I'll be able to get a skill point. That seems to be the flow of the game from my previous playthroughs. And again, I'm subject to play things wrong, so I might have a bad interpretation, but I'll definitely be double checking and triple checking the rules as I go along, because I want to make sure I'm not putting out a bad video here. But as far as everything is concerned, that's my pirates. 5 skill points distributed. I have 3 navigation, 2 seamanship, so I can have a bigger boat if I want to, and we'll go ahead and continue on. So continuing on through, we have to, it says pirate captain starts at level, okay, we got that. Number 4, if desired, we can select the historical captain card. I'm not going to, but the game does come with captain cards that has historical captains that are back here. So you can play these captains, and they start with very specific stats, different things that they have, different bonuses, different benefits. I have yet to play through the game fully with a normal one. I played a good bit of a game, and I saved and I restarted for the stream. So, you know, take that how you will. I'm not sure how good the other captains are, is what I'm trying to say. All right, continuing on, we have next, we have 0 specialist crew and 0 special items, so that sucks. Then pirate captain infamy starts out at 0, and my crew loyalty starts out at 5. So that's kept track of course, on the other board. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me save this other camera before I mess up things again. 2 and 8. Okay, all right, so if I go down here, what you'll see is you'll see that I have, well, you have to trust me on this one because it's gonna be blurry. Again, I can't control my camera apparently. But what you see here is there's gonna be a loyalty track, and the loyalty track is gonna start out at 5, which is fanatical, and the infamy is gonna start at 0, so I'm unknown. I'm an unknown pirate, but I have, my crew is very loyal to me, and loyalty is gonna be important because if the loyalty ever falls below a certain level, then I'm gonna run into a lot of trouble. My crew is gonna hate me, and they're gonna mutiny and all kinds of bad stuff. So that's what's gonna happen in those situations. All right, cool. So that is what those trackers are. So now we're gonna move over to the next one. It says, the pirate captain has yet to build a pirate haven. Therefore, all ship repairs must be done at Nassau for the time being. So I do not have a pirate haven on the board, which makes sense. But if I want to repair stuff, I need to go to Nassau up here. And that would be the thing that I would live for there. Okay, there we go. That would be the thing I would live for there. And continuing. So go to table B2 to purchase black powder for the pirate ship cannons. You may purchase black powder for pirate ship cannons and pirate haven defense cannons up to 1,500 gold per cannon. And then see table B2. The cost includes blah blah blah. Just more details. Takes up 1 cargo unit space. Note: spare defense cannons can be purchased and stored at the haven and kept in reserve from when Nassau was raided. Okay, cool. Just give me some stuff for the future. So in this case, I can go ahead and buy some stuff from the store, and it says it allows me to purchase black powder from the pirates, black powder for my ship, and it says you may purchase black powder for pirate ship cannons and the pirate haven defense cannons. So I don't think I'm gonna be building a pirate haven all that early. And so see table B2. The cost includes all these other things. I'm trying to check to see if I can buy other things, and it looks like it does not call out me buying other things. So I mean, as a first turn, I can just go ahead and just stay docked and then buy all the other stuff I want to buy, because I have an idea for some things I want to buy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our money. We're going to go ahead and go shopping. It's referring to a specific page inside of the charts book, which is the book we're looking at. So essentially saying go to table B2, buy cannons and powder, and then go about your game. And that's what it's saying for this normal new game. So we're gonna go ahead and do what it says here. So I am gonna go to chart B2. Actually, I'll bring this on screen. I'll bring you guys along for the journey. Why not? So here is chart B2, right there. And chart B2 has some information for me to look at and buy stuff. Essentially, I do not have haggling 5. If I had haggling 5, then I could use this discounted table. But because I do not have haggling 5, I got to use the normie table over here. So for black powder, I need to spend a certain amount of money. Oh man, wow. Just having a great day to focus here. For the black powder, I need to spend a certain amount of money so I can get a certain amount of stuff. My ship as a sloop can only hold 10 black powder total. And every time I attack, I attack with up to 2 shots per round of attack, which is not a lot relative to this game. The maximum, for those who want to know, the maximum is a man of war ship, and a man of war ship can hold 40 black powder, and it can shoot a max of 10 shots per round. So, as you can see, I might be sorely outgunned here, but I'm gonna go ahead and max out what I can buy. I can have a max of 12 is what it says. Sorry, max of 10 is what it says here on my little sheet for a sloop, and I will do that. Black powder does not count for my cargo space. So as you noticed before, my cargo space was stuck at 40, and let me see if I can focus on that, because focus is going to be a hopeless thing here. That's focused-ish, right? That's focused-ish. Man, you really can't read anything. This is crazy. All right, let me zoom in. I just want to see if I can get it to be readable. There we go, that's much better. All right. So, yeah, what we're looking at is we're looking at the upgrade. So, no upgrade side over here. So, sloop 40 is my cargo storage, but the maximum powder capacity that I have is 10, and black powder units do not count towards my total cargo capacity. So, what it's saying is that I can buy up to 10 of the black powder, so I will do that. So, I'm going to buy up to 10 of the black powder because that's what a appropriate pirate would do, and it's going to cost me 500. So I'm gonna go from my 5,000 to 4,500. I got 10 powder marked. And then I'm gonna go ahead and buy a cannon. I'm just gonna buy one. And then I'm gonna buy 10 more black powder for it. So, interesting. So my maximum black powder capacity is this, but on the table, interesting. So I have my black powder capacity down here, and there's no other way for me to store black powder that's in excess of 10. That's so weird. All right, whatever. We're gonna spend 1,500, so we can go ahead and get that. So we're gonna be at $3,000, and we're gonna have 1 defense cannon in our cargo hold, so it can hold 39 more things. All right, cool. And I'll flash this sheet as we go along, as I update stuff as we go along. So, okay, cool. So that's all done. So we have done everything we need to do. Now we're gonna go into the day of a life of a pirate. So we're gonna start our pirate day. And the first thing that we do is we will essentially go to our charts. Again, there's a lot of charts in this book. This is like the how to play the game book. So we're gonna go ahead and do all this. And I'll show this on the screen for like the first maybe 2 or 3 rotations or 2 or 3 rounds, but I'm not gonna commit to showing this on the screen the whole time. So take that how you will. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make a determination. I'm gonna make a determination where I wanna go. I am going to want to go, let's see. So as a sloop, I can stay here and I can go ahead and go shopping again. So I can spend a day shopping for extra stuff. I don't think I will. I think I want to go find some pirates to take out, and then I want to revisit. So I kind of have a general idea of what I want to do. So in that case, I want to go ahead and sail out and try to find some people to fight and beat up. And I'm gonna try to make a little circuit. I'm gonna go from here to B, and I'm gonna try to avoid the harder areas. So the map what we're looking at is the orange areas are a little bit harder to fight in, and the yellow areas are a little bit harder to fight in. The orange areas are harder to fight in, and the red areas are like where the big settlements are, the big towns are. Orange is small towns, red is big town. So and the yellow is just kind of open water type situation. The blue circles, the light blue circles, are shallow water. So shallow water, only certain things can go in there. So it's a little bit hard to see on the camera with the color contrast there. But the light blue circles are things like B, E, F, H, and number 1. Those are all shallow. And the dark blue ones are deep sea places that I can set a pirate haven at. So that is kind of the determination from that. So all that goes along with to say that I think I might go ahead and go to B, so I can go fight somebody, hopefully not too mean. So we're going to undock our ship, and we're going to try to set sail that way. So before we set sail, we got to go ahead and do our weather check. So we're going to do our weather check, and we're going to do a few checks in a row. Eventually I'm going to start rolling multiple sets of dice at the same time, but for now I'm going to roll one set first. So we're going to check our weather. This one's going to be a percent. So I have some percent dice here, right there. So we're going to go ahead and just get our percent roll, see how we do. And we got ourselves a 28%. Ugh. All right, I think low percent is actually good. So 28% is going to be good, good light wind. So clear to partly cloudy, smooth seas. Go to table H4. Okay, cool. All right, so we have good weather and light wind. And then we're going to go to table H4. I'm going to scooch this up. Yeah, there we go. All right, table H4 right there. So table H4 says the pirate ship may now move to the next map zone or remain in the current one. Note if maximum sail damage has been sustained, then you can't do that. And then afterwards go to table H5, H6, and H7. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to where we wanna go. We moved. And now that we've done that, we are gonna go to H5. Oh man, this is gonna be complicated. I should have put this, position this not in the way. I could have positioned this anywhere else, and I positioned it right in the way. All right, so H5, right there. Here we go. So H5, it says the pirate ship crew loyalty. All right, so this is only if your loyalty ever falls to 0. So if the pirate crew loyalty reaches 0, it is not. My pirate crew loyalty is at 5, so I do not have to worry about this. So I will ignore this for now. Moving on to H6 is a random event. So random events, we need to roll to see if we get a random event, and we roll 2. It's another percent roll. So I'm gonna roll this as green. So I'm rolling 2% dice here. And we got ourselves 97. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. We got ourselves a 97. So 97, oh my gosh, we're starting with an, nope, okay, whew, we're close. So there's no modifiers here. Oh, actually, there's modifiers over here. Okay, the modifiers for the weather roll did not come into effect, but I need to pay attention to that next time. Okay, all right, moving back over here though. Yeah, so we get no random events. We go to table H7. So table H7 says enemy ship encounters. This is where we're gonna see if we have somebody to fight. Hopefully the answer is yes, because I would like to fight, please. Give me a ship that's not too scary to fight. And I'll move this out of the way. I don't need it anymore. And this one I'm gonna roll just a single roll. And it says if calm, wind, or bad weather, no enemy ships. So we are light wind, good weather. So we are actually gonna see potential enemy ship. And then it says if unmodified 10, enemy ship encounter occurs. So we're gonna go ahead and roll. And I'm gonna roll myself a black die here. And we rolled a 9, nice. That's pretty good. So we rolled a 9, it says -1 to poor weather, +1 spyglass, +1 orange town, +2 red town, so red zone. So none of those modifiers apply, but we did roll a 9. So we're gonna have an enemy ship encounter on our first go. Hopefully it's nothing bad, but we'll see. And it says if pirate ship enters a orange or red zone in an attempt to sack a town, go to table such and such. After ship encounter, combat is complete. I'm not doing that, so that does not apply. Sorry, that was the footnote because it wanted me to go to A to read the note there. So that did not apply, so we didn't do anything there. All right, cool. So now we're gonna go into our H8. Oh yeah, H8, sorry. H8, which is right here. So we gotta figure out how many rounds we're gonna do. So we're gonna roll another black die. We'll roll this one. And we're gonna see how many rounds we're gonna do in our fight. Sorry, you couldn't see that. That was a 5. I'll try to move this out of the way so we can actually see my rolls. The whole point of this is so you can see my rolls. The overlay is over my camera and it's really annoying. All right, anyway. So we are going to have 5 rounds right here. 5 rounds. So we'll set this to 5. So that means that we will have 5 rounds max before the night happens. So night happens after round 5, and then everything just kind of goes away. The whole fighting stops. And then afterwards, we're going to go ahead and spawn ourselves an enemy because we're going to table H9. Like I said before, a lot of look up tables. Right, so table H9. Man, this is getting in the way. All right, let me adjust my camera settings again so I can get this to be a little bit less unruly. I wasn't expecting this camera to be that important. All right, 1 second. That's too low. We'll get it more over there. Then we'll focus. There we go. It's a little bit better. All right, so H9 is where we're at. Nah, it's still bad. There we go. It's a little bit better. All right, here's H9. So H9 says we're going to basically generate our enemy that we're fighting, and then we're going to determine if we want to fight him or not. And then afterwards, we're going to generate some more stuff. So first, we're going to roll 2 d10s to determine the ship type that we're facing. We want a merchant, so we want anything but a 20. So we're going to roll 2 d10s. And we rolled a 8 plus 7. Sorry, it looks like not an 8, but it's an 8. It landed that way. 8 plus 7. So we got ourselves a... Ooh, is that a 15? Whew, we're cutting close. All right, so we got ourselves a 15. And it says here the modifiers are +1 per captain infamy point. I have 0 infamy, so that's fine. +1 if Orange Town zone. +1 if July and September. +1 if October. And these are cumulative, so these will stack on top of each other. So basically it becomes much more likely you'll face an enemy as you get closer to the end of the year. But in this case, none of that applies, so I have +0. So we're just fighting a simple merchant ship. Now we're gonna figure out which kind of merchant ship we're fighting. So if merchant ship, we're gonna roll 2 d10s to determine the type. And here's where we're hoping for a low roll. So fingers crossed we can get a low roll. Oh, I thought it was a 1 and a 4. It's a 9 and a 4. No. All right. We might still be fine. This might be okay. So it's gonna be a 13. So 13. Let's see what the modifiers are. So 13 is gonna be a flute. Ugh. Okay, so 13 is a flute. That's not good. That's a huge ship. And it says if any yellow or blue, if in any yellow, blue, or Spanish town zone, roll this to see if a man of war, merchant ship, or if it's a Spanish man of war. So the Board Game Geek forums, the designers clarified, John, the designer? Who's the designer of this game? Let me look it up. But I saw this on Board Game Geek forums because when I first started playing through the game, I basically did 2 ship fights. Like I fought 2 ships at once. I was like, this seems broken. Why am I having such an awful time? This is not great. Maybe the game's supposed to be hard, but not that hard. And yeah, Joe Carter commented that that's only if you spawn a man of war. Also, I'm in a shallow zone, so a man of war cannot spawn here. And actually, can a flute be here? I don't know if a flute can be here. If a flute can't be here, I wonder what happens. Let me look that up in our rule book. All right, let's see, flute. It says, flutes are large and slow merchant ships. They can carry large amounts of cargo and cannons, but are not very maneuverable. Flutes may be taken as prizes, but they may not be used as a pirate ship. A minimum pirate captain seamanship skill of 3 is required to have your pirate crew sail a captured flute back to Nassau. That's all it says. Okay. All right, let me go into our rulebook and see if I can find some assistance here. Because I think if it can't spawn a thing, then you re-roll. That was my assumption. All right, so we are in a light and dark blue zones represent hidden coves on the shoreline and are only entered with your pirate ship when visiting a pirate haven or stash, or when attempting to recover buried treasure. The light blue zones, which is where we are, may only be entered by brigantine, schooner, and sloop shallow draft ships. Man of war and frigate ships may not enter light blue zones. It says nothing about a flute. That's disappointing. All right, so I'm gonna read this as the only is the governing text here. So light blue zones may only be entered by brigantine, schooner, and sloop shallow draft ships. I'm assuming a flute is not a shallow draft ship. It also said a flute is flutes are large and slow merchant ships. So see brigantines. Yeah, so the text here, again, it's gonna be blurry because my camera is having some camera issues, but the brigantines have shallow draft, meaning they can dock in light blue shallow cove zones on the map. Oh, is that what that means? Schooners have shallow drafts, meaning they can dock in. It says they can dock. It doesn't say anything about sail, but on the light blue side over here, light blue zones may only be entered by brigantine, schooner, and sloop shallow draft ships. A contradiction, I see. All right, I'm going to interpret it as a flute. A flute cannot be in shallow drafts because it does not have the text that specifically says it can be in shallow drafts. So therefore, a flute cannot exist here. Therefore, I'm going to re-roll that. All right, so I did not spawn a flute for my opponent. That can't exist here. Oh, that's a 9 and a 7. That is a bigger ship. I think a bigger ship cannot be here. That is a frigate. So it's going to be 16. A frigate can also not be here. All right, well, we're just going to keep rolling until we find something. All right, there we go. We got a 6. Yay. All right, so 6, that's going to be a sloop. Hey, we can have one of those. All right, so the enemy sloop is going to be here. Let's see the modifiers. The modifiers do not apply to us here. And I can choose if I want to engage with the ship or not. So that's my interpretation of how things are. That could be incorrect. I'm reading it that way because light blue zone, it says you have to have shallow drafts. That's going to impact me later if I'm trying to sail around myself, especially if I build a pirate haven inside of a light blue zone. Oh, also, I could have established a pirate stash. Oh, that's fine. I didn't, so I won't. I'll do that later. I'll figure out the rules on that later. But for this, we spawned a sloop. So what we're going to do is we are going to have our ship, which is a sloop, going against the enemy ship, which is a sloop. So we're going to use this mat, the fighting mat. Man, that's so... Ugh. I can't believe my camera is so incredibly unfocused. It's like me on a bad day. Oh, actually, I think I know why it might be. Hold on. Is it because... Let's see. Let's delete. 1 second. I'm going to change our source here. This is going to be very jarring. No, it's not because of that. All right. Well, I tried. Can't say I didn't try. Can't say that I did not try, y'all. Yeah, it's just spitting out some awful video there. All right, existential crisis that future me will deal with later when I'm done streaming. Apologies for those who might be trying to follow along and read along. It's actually out of focus. So, sorry, it's actually not tack sharp focus. So this is a sloop. This is me. And then the merchant I'm fighting is going to be a sloop right there. And that's going to be us two right there. And I'll get this dice off the screen. And that's going to be us fighting. So the enemy is going to be a sloop. And now after I do that, we're going to find out the seamanship of my enemy. So we're going to roll a single d10 to find out the seamanship of the merchant ship that we're fighting. And we're going to roll that. And it's a 9. Oh, gosh. All right, that's not good. All right, well, we got a guy who's a tryhard. We got a tryhard here. So we got a 9 for the merchant seamanship, which means I have a seamanship of 4, which is not the greatest. And that will be kept track, or we'll keep track of that. We'll keep track of that by using the sheet here for the enemy, the merchant ship enemies here. So we'll just write they have a seamanship of 4 right there. And we also know they have a sloop. So the sloop is going to have 4 hull and 4 sails. And their crew is going to be automatically 2. So they got 2 on them. So we are using these trackers. So my health is 4 as pirate. And their health is 4 as merchant. And it should be hull and sail health. I didn't think that far ahead. So this is just hull health. The sail health, I'll talk about that as we go along. I'll call that out as we go along. But for right now, my captain, who has seamanship of 2, is going to try to fight this guy who has a seamanship of 4. All that means is that they'll get some modifiers that'll help them a lot, and it won't be great because it'll make them less likely to run away from me or surrender. And I want them to surrender so I can have an easy fight. I don't want to die. All right, cool. So we established that they have pretty god tier seamanship, which I'm not happy about. So that's the merchant ship. And then warship, we don't have a warship. And this one's for each warship captain. We do not have one of those. So we're going to continue here by going to table I1. So table I1 is going to be the fighting table. It's right there. So now first thing we're going to do is we're going to check to see if the merchant surrenders. So hopefully if they roll a 10 unmodified, then they automatically surrender. So we'll see. I'll get myself my, where'd my dice go? Oh, there they go. Got stuff everywhere. I'll roll myself a D10. So right here, here's my D10. We'll roll it. They rolled a 4. So they rolled a 4. And that 4 is going to give them, it says merchant ship refuses to surrender. So there's modifiers here. So the merchant has a seamanship skill of 4, which they do. So they actually rolled a 1, which means they're super not running away. And then +1 per fire infamy point, I have 0. +1 per merchant ship hull damage, they're not damaged yet. Hopefully they will be soon. And this is per level of damage. So KIA is a +1 per merchant crew unit killed in action. And then +2 if merchant captain is severely wounded or killed in action. And then next up is if merchant captain seamanship skill is 2, which is what I wanted them to have, they would be more intimidated, but nope, we're at a 1. So we need a natural 10 for them to surrender is essentially what it's saying. So either that or kill them, or they kill me. I don't know. We'll see how short this game is going to be. All right, so we're going to go to table I2. So table I2 is going to be ship order of attack. So here it says put these things in a cup. I'm not going to use a cup because I am not a savage. I'm going to use my hand. So I have these two markers here. These 2 markers are going to be pirate ship and merchant ship. And this will determine what order we fire in. So it determines who gets to shoot first, essentially. So hopefully pirate ship is first and then merchant ship is second. So we got merchant ship, the exact opposite of what I wanted. So merchant ship first, pirate ship second. So merchant is going to shoot first and then pirate, I'm going to be able to attack afterwards. Now, one thing that the rulebook didn't specify, but I just made assumptions on, so I'm not sure if I'm playing this part correctly, but the rulebook doesn't specify, or the charts book didn't specify how much powder the merchant starts with, how many shots they take every round. So I'm assuming they start with the maximum number of powder that they can hold into their ship, and they also take the maximum number of shots. That's my assumption. So I have 10 powder, and the merchant has 10 powder. So we're going to use these little chits here to mark our powder count. So there's 4 for me, 6, 8, and 10. And then for the merchant, they're going to have the same thing. So 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, so that's their powder. That's my powder. We're both ready to start shooting. So merchant's gonna shoot first. So when the merchant shoots, essentially what they're gonna do is they're just gonna roll. They're just gonna roll a D or 2 D10s for the number of shots they take. Oh, actually, sorry. Was there more down here? No, I was just saying that, if more than half of my pirate crew is dead, then we can't shoot, and so on and so forth. Pirate ship cannon fire is optional. Pirate captains may also choose to pursue or evade the merchant ship without firing. So we don't have to shoot if we don't want to. We're definitely going to shoot. Shooting is painful in this game, let me tell you. So for shooting, cannon fire, the merchant's going to go first. So we're going to roll basically two shots, so 2 D10s essentially. And then, yeah, it's just telling you max per round. Okay, so over here, we gotta roll 2. They will get a -1 because they're targeting me, which is a pirate with a sloop. So I'm a little bit more agile, so I can dodge their fire. and they don't get any pluses, so they need to roll a 10 to hit, essentially. I will also need to roll a 10 to hit, which is not great. So we'll see how this all works out. So they rolled a 3 and a 4, so 2 misses. They will spin that powder. So they spent 2 powder for the shots. And then I will take 2 shots. So I'm rolling my black dice here because I'm a pirate, arg. And I'm taking 2 shots. My stuff is essentially the same. My modifiers are the same, except for I can have a gunner. I do not have a gunner present. It's just me and my 2040 crew. And I rolled a 9 and I rolled a 1, which is very sad. So close to a 10. So both shots miss because, again, don't forget that the target merchant ship is a sloop. So I also get the negative for that too. So nothing happens. We both miss. All right. So now that both have missed, I now have the opportunity. It says, when all shots have been taken, return to I2 to draw the next ship. Okay, we've already done that. Black powder consumed. So for the sloop, they shot 2 shots. Oh, okay, so here's where it tells. Okay, cool, perfect. All right, I was complaining about this earlier, but I just made an assumption because it seemed like it made sense. It's not enough black powder units to fire. They may not fire. If no hull points remain, then they die. Sails disabled. Crew roll. This is for F. This is if I actually get a hit. Yeah, that's if they get a hit. Where's F? I don't see F. What? Oh, that's if crewmen are hit. I see. So if crewmen are hit, then we do E, and then E says if crewmen's hit, and it's F. If it's specialist, then we roll that. Okay, cool. We don't have to do all that. Everything's fine. All right, cool. So going back over to my side. So black powder unit consumed per shot. Maximum shots 2 for me. Yep, I did that. If there's no remaining black powder, then I can't fire. If no hull damage points remain, then I sink. If the sail damage, then I'm disabled. Then I roll this if I hit them. And same concept. Okay, cool. So essentially, I missed. So that's all I need to know. I missed, and it doesn't tell me what table to go to next. 1 second. I guess I gotta go back to I2, because it told me to go back to I2, and then from here it says once all ships is fired, go back to I4. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. This game is basically a flowchart, a flowchart of tables. You roll dice and hope that you roll good. All right, so continuing on here. So we are now in I4. So I can choose to board the opponent if I want to. I'm not going to. So I'm not going to attempt to because I have no sword skills. I have no, what's it called? I have no swordsmanship. So I would rather just try to continue to shoot them and get them to surrender. So that's all. After that happens, we go, so I'm not attempting to board. Oh, okay, so I4 for attempting to board, or I12 if no attempt to board. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna skip all the way to I12. So we're gonna go all the way to I12. I12, right over there. So I12 is the merchant's gonna attempt to run away. They're gonna say, I don't wanna be here, let's run away. The merchant ship always attempts evasions. So we're gonna roll 1d10. And then if unmodified 1, the merchant ship fails to evade. If unmodified 10, the merchant ship evades. After rolling, then I go to table I13. So we're gonna check, see if the merchant's gonna evade. We're gonna roll their dice. And they got a 9. Ooh, that's not good. All right, so they got a 9. And then it says -2 per sloop, schooner, or frigate pirate ship. So that's a 7. And then -2 of good weather. We are in good weather. We are currently in good weather, so it's gonna be a 5. -1 of light wind. It is light wind, so it's gonna be a 4. -1 if they have damage, per damage. No. Per seamanship skill for me. So, oh my gosh, I lost track. All right, this is why I have counters. Let me get our counter out. I have spin down counters here. All right, so let's start over. They have a 9. They have a 9. Okay, got it. So they have a 9, and we are, oh, actually, it's a positive 9. So I got the wrong die up here. So, no, we'll make black positive, sure. Black is positive, white is negative. All right, so this is gonna be 9, and they are facing me, who is a pirate ship. So it's gonna be down to 7. So it's -2 because I'm a sloop. It is good weather, so it's gonna be -2 again. So it's gonna go down from 7 to 5. And then they are in light wind. We are in light wind, so it's gonna go from 5 to 4. And let's see. -1 per captain seamanship skill point. So I have 2 skill points in my seamanship. So it's gonna go from 4 down to 2. A lot of modifiers here. And then continuing on, geez. We are +1 per pirate ship hull damage. I have no damage. +2 of poor weather. No. +2 of sloop, schooner, frigate for the merchant. Okay, so they're going to be at a 4. So they failed. So essentially, they need a natural 10 to run away from me. All right, got it. Good to know. Actually, no, it's not true. They just need a 6 or higher. All right, but they still don't evade. So the evasion attempt was unsuccessful. They do not make it out. Actually, no, I take it back. They do need a natural 10 to survive, to run away from me. All right, okay, this is good to know, but also a little annoying. All right, they did not run away. So we go to table I-13, and I-13 says end of combat. The current combat round has ended. So we will drop this down from 5 to 4, because around, oh, actually, I'll wait till it prompts me to do so I can keep track of things. If the enemy ship remains, the next combat round begins. Advance the combat round counter. Okay, there we go. And then go to table I-1. Okay, all right, well, we're going back to I-1. I'm not gonna read any further, just go to I-1. All right, and we do it all over again. So now we're gonna see if the merchant ship is gonna surrender. Again, a natural 10 is what they need to surrender. So hopeful that we get a natural 10. Oh, so close. Oh, you didn't see that, but it was a 4. It rolled onto the 0, and then it booped over to the 4. All right, so they do not surrender. They need a natural 10 to surrender. Their stuff is too high for me to get it any other way. So now we move on to the order of attack. So I, of course, am going to continue engaging, because I can choose to run away too, but I'm not running away. I'm gonna stay here. So order of attack, we're going to get, first is going to be the merchant again. Ugh, I hate that. And then me. I'd rather go first. Come on, guys, give me a chance. All right, merchant's going to shoot 2 shots, rolling 2 d10s. And they rolled a 6 and a 3, so they do not hit anything. They miss, so we're going to spin that powder. Do they get any modifiers? No, that's the wrong one. Wait, oh, I hit the same button. For the fighting, I don't think they get any modifiers here. Oh, they do. -1. Okay, they get a -1. All right, and I also get a -1. So we both get -1. So we both need 10s to hit. Okay. I feel like I've already said that out loud, but I just had to remind myself. Oh, I didn't spin my powder from shooting last time. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to shoot now. I got my 2 black dice here. So we're going to roll these 2. And ooh, it's a 4 and a 6. Sad. So 4 and a 6. So I missed both my shots. Nothing happens. We go about our thing. I'm not boarding. We're going to see if they run away. So I'm not boarding. We're going to see if they surrender. Wait, this is surrender. It's the wrong side. Sorry. I-12. We're going to see if they run away. They are not going to run away, hopefully. They need a 10. I think is what we established. They rolled a 9 again, but they do not run away successfully. And then we do it all over again. All right, so going back to the start. So we check to see, do they run away? Essentially, they roll a 10, then they run away. And if they don't, then they won't. Oh, they rolled a 1. Oh, sorry, this is surrender. If they roll a 10, they surrender. If they roll a 1, then they super don't surrender. They ultra don't surrender. All right, now we got the attacking order. Sorry, I didn't spin my powder from last time again. Very exciting stuff, I know. Boats fighting. All right, so first is gonna be the merchant ship again. Oh my gosh, this is rigged. This is rigged. All right, merchant ship and then me, so fine. All right, somebody's gonna hit eventually, and I feel like it's gonna be the merchant. So rolling 2 dice for the merchant to shoot me. And they rolled 2 3s, so they do miss. And then I'm going to roll my 2 shots. And I rolled a 2 and a 7. Oh, yeah, you can see that 2 and a 7, so I miss as well. It's a hard game, y'all. It's a hard game. All right. We check to see if they evade. They need a 10 to evade. They rolled a 10. They rolled a natural 10. Oh no, I knew it was gonna happen. All right, so they run away. So the merchant ship is gonna evade. There it is. Merchant ship attempts evasion. They rolled a 10. They needed a natural 10 to run. So they do successfully run away. And then, let's see. If merchant ship escapes, -2 Captain Infamy and -2 crew loyalty. Oh no! Pirate captain may pay out extra gold to ship crew at any time in order to increase loyalty. Normal plunder payouts still exist. All right, I'll pay them to not be unloyal. I want my loyalty as high as possible. So we're gonna lose 2 infamy. We have 0, so we're not gonna lose anything for that. And then we have lost 2 crew loyalty. So we are gonna go to table F1 to see what that's all about. See how much I gotta pay. I have 2 crew units. So D, E, F. So F1 is going to be the plunder payouts. So essentially I need +2, and this is per crew unit. Oh, here it is. No. Oh, okay, that doesn't happen. But essentially I pay this per main crew unit. So I need to pay $700 to get them to not hate me. All right. Here's my consequence. I didn't do the thing I need to do, so $700 is gone. I'm now at $2,400. Nope, $2,300. I'm a bad pirate. And not only that, but I've wasted a lot of fire, which is not great. I have 4 cannon. I have 4 black powder left. Again, when that person rolled, when they rolled a seamanship of 4, I knew it was over. I should just ran away. That was way too much for me to deal with. And now I'm just sad. All right, so we'll go over to, I think, I-13. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right page here. Yeah, I-13. So back on I-13, it says here that we're at the end. Once a merchant ship has entered or has been captured, sunk, or successfully evades combat, combat automatically ends. Darkness falls. The pirate ship chooses to evade. Or the pirate ship chooses to evade at the end of the round. Once combat ends, go to this table. If the merchant capture ship surrenders, and I get to do all this stuff. I do not get to do all this stuff. Sad. And I think that's it. Yeah, we just go back to our normal day. So go back to H1. So that was it for the day, though. So the day has ended. Therefore, I will mark off the first day. That was only the first day, y'all. Mark off the first day. So we're on day 2. And we're going back to our H table. And we're going to try to do it again. We could just stay here and try to find another pirate. Or find another ship to kick the butt of. But I'm kind of keen on sailing around a little bit. Because why not? You know, otherwise it'd be pretty boring just me sitting here until I find the thing I want. In that case, I just need to roll like 20 dice to see if I get a hit or not. Okay. We are uninjured. We can go back to Nassau and get some more black powder. I feel like that would be wise. Because with 4 black powder, it means I can only shoot for 2 rounds before I have to run away myself. I wonder if I can hire a crew. Can I hire a crew from Nassau? Let's see. I think B2 is a table for purchasing things. Smuggle. Oh, wait, Nassau Town Tavern. Oh, I can hire a crew here. I want a specialist crew though. So what I'm looking for now is I'm looking to see if I can get a specialist crew. And I cannot just buy a specialist or hire a specialist. I think I have to go find them. Yeah, because the best I can do is hire just crew units, which is the generic crew. I can only hold 2 crew units anyway. So I got my 40 men. I got my 40 pirates. I guess we're just gonna sail around. All right, so let's go into some troubled waters here. Let's go over to 2. So we're gonna attempt to go over to 2. We're in a new day, so we need to do our weather roll. So this is the roll where I said I'll do things all at once. So I'm gonna do the weather check, then I'm gonna do the event check, and then I'm going to check to see, what's the third one? I'm gonna roll 4 dice at once. There's another one that I need to roll. But my weather is gonna be purple, my event is gonna be green. And this helps speed the game up by quite a bit. So 68 for the weather, and then 56 for the event. So no event's gonna happen. But for the weather, wrong table. I should have like tabs already. I forgot to go out and get some before I start live streaming. Also, speaking of live streaming, I do live stream on Twitch, y'all. If you're watching YouTube, that's twitch.tv/CulBlu. That's CulBlu. Feel free to check me out there. All right, so we rolled 68. Oh, it's not good. Poor light wind. Overcast with rain, smooth seas. Okay, that's not terrible, but it's not great. So weather's poor. We got light wind though. And we can just kind of continue on like normal. This roll, the second roll was the event is what I said earlier. So we're going to H4. H4 is, we get to move. So we did successfully move over here to number 2. And then, oops. Yeah, we did successfully move over to H2. And now we go over here to our events. We see that no event has happened. And then our last one was to see if we spotted an enemy. All right, that's why I need to roll 5. I see. So I will roll 1 more die. We rolled a 9 again. Man, we're getting pretty good with finding these people. Actually, I don't think I wanted a 9. That's fine. All right, so we found a ship. The modifiers are poor weather -1, so it's an 8. +1 if orange town zone. Oh, we rolled an 8. Oh, that's sad. All right, well, we didn't find anybody. Boo to the modifiers. All right, so we didn't find anything. Disappointing. Oh, wait. If pirate ship enters orange or red zone in an attempt to sack it to... No, okay, I didn't do that. And this is orange or red, not yellow. And I'm in yellow. All right, no enemy ship spotted. We go back to H1. We're just going to go ahead and continue sailing away. My goal, like I said, my goal is was to sail up to A for some reason. I don't know why. I just want to go to A. That's Florida, somewhere up there. So we're on day 2. Another day, another dollar. Sorry, well, we're on January 3rd, I should say. And we're going to roll our dice. Purple is going to be weather, green is going to be event, and red is going to be if we spot an enemy. And there we go. So we got 24 for weather, 93 for event, and we got a 3 for if we spot somebody. So that's going to be a negative. So we don't spot any ships, but we got, was this 24? Oh, sorry, let me get this out of the way. $24, 93, and 3. Okay, so 24 is going to give me what? For weather. 24 is going to give me good light. Oh, there's modifiers. I forgot these modifiers. So -5 if previous weather was good. +5 if previous weather was poor. And then these are these cumulative? It does not say these are cumulative, so it's just kind of whichever one. That makes sense. +5 June through November, and then +10 if previous weather was bad. So the previous modifier I rolled, I don't know, I forgot what I rolled. Like 60 something in here. So I think it was enough for it to not matter with the -5. And this one's going to be +5 to my rule because the previous weather was poor. So previous weather was poor, previous round was poor. And that means that we have 29, which doesn't change anything. We're in good to light, so good light. And oh, I didn't declare where I was going to go. I'm trying to get to A, so clearly I'm going to number 1. All right, cool. we established that. That's done. Events, we got a 93. 93 means nothing happens. I need a 90, 98 or higher for something to happen. And then for spotting an enemy, we rolled a 3, no modifiers. Apply here in this case. So we go back to our next part of the day. All right, and we're gonna move over to A. Sorry, we're moving over to A. That's our intent. So we're gonna go ahead and roll our 5 dice. And we rolled, we rolled 100. That's not good. That's not good. There's a one-time rolling 100 is not good. We rolled 100, a 15, and a 6. Ugh. All right, 100 is not good. That's actually really bad. 100 is gonna be bad weather. Let's see, we have modifiers. -5 if previous weather was good. It was. Previous weather was good. So we're at this instead. Whew. Bad, strong wind, large storm, rough seas. Oh no. A, B, C, apply, and then go to this table. All right. So we got rough seas. So we're bad. It says strong winds. And this is where my navigation is going to save my life here, hopefully. Sorry, you couldn't see that. My bad. Sorry, this is bad is where we were when we rolled 100. Which 100 is 00 and then 0. That's 100. If it was 00 and a 1, then it'll be 1%, not 100. Okay, just wanted to clarify that for everybody because it took me a while to learn that. So we're here, but because it's -5 for the modifier, if previous weather was good, which it was, thankfully, we're actually here on bad, strong winds. So that's why we had this instead. So we have A, B, and C. So A is telling us that pirate ship must remain in the current map space for the day. The pirate ship may not attack towns, and then if docked in Nassau or Pirate Haven, no effect. Do not roll on table H2. Proceed to H4. Pirate ship may not set sail at the end of the day. All right, so we're not docked. So H2, roll 2d10s, +1, or sorry, once for strong wind, twice for hurricane wind. Okay, so I'm rolling 2d10s is what it's saying. All right, we're gonna roll some blue dice here, or some, I guess, multicolor dice. And we rolled a 9 and a 5. Sorry, again, I know it's hard to see because of the angle there, but it's a 9 and a 5. So 9 and a 5. So we rolled a 14. A 14 is gonna give us 1 hull and 1 sail damage. That's not great. And we're just in strong wind. Okay, so my sloop has taken a hit. My sloop has taken a hit. All right, so I might want to go back to Nassau because I don't like having my ship have damage because I have no swimming. I decided not to take the swimming skill, and we'll see if I pay for that. All right, now moving on to H3. This is a pirate ship, bad weather, storm navigation. So we roll another D10, and it says if unmodified 10, the pirate ship runs aground and sinks. So we want a low number. -2 of compass, -1 in clay pipe, -1 per navigation point. So I have 3 navigation points, and then +1 for hurricane wind. So no hurricane wind, thank goodness. But we essentially have a -3 to whatever this roll is. So we want this roll to be low. And we rolled a 10. Well, great time to roll a 10. So a natural 10, unmodified 10 is, yeah. Pirate ship runs aground and sinks. So we run aground and sink. Does that mean we're dead? Pirate ship runs aground, breaks up and sinks. Go to table P3 and then note A. It's so sad. So sad. This might be the end of Captain whatever my name is. Which I'm okay with, honestly. Just telling a cool story. So it's at P3. It'll take us to the back of the book. Goodness. All right. So P3 says pirate ship runs aground and sinks. A pirate ship runs aground and sinks in the nearest blue. A pirate ship runs aground and sinks in the nearest light blue, dark blue, or orange / red town. All main crew, passengers, hostages, regular cargo, and gold aboard are lost. Player's choice of multiple options. And then roll 1d10 for captain in each specialist crew. So less than or 1 through 5 we survive with these things, and then 6 through 10 we drown. If pirate captain drowns, game's over. Modifiers cumulative, -1 per pirate captain swimming skill point, which I have no swimming skill points. -1 if clay pipe is in possession. I do not have a clay pipe. +2 if bad weather. Oof, we are in bad weather, so this is not gonna look good. +2 if pirate captain is PW. Sorry, what? +2 if pirate captain PW. Is that? Oh, permanently wounded. Sorry, that's PW. It's permanently wounded. And then note: if unmodified 10 is rolled for captain, captain drowns. Game over. All right, this might be the end of it. Let's see. We gotta roll. We gotta roll the thing. I'm gonna roll this one again. Actually, that's a bad idea. I'm not gonna roll this one. This one betrayed me already. I'm gonna roll a new die. We rolled a 5, which is a 7, which is death. So I've died. All right, where are we? We're here. So we rolled 1d10 for specialist crew. So we rolled a 5, but we have the modifiers here, and they're cumulative. I have no swimming skill, and it's bad weather. So that is going to be a 6 through 10. So I drowned. My captain has died. Well, it was a short-lived game. Oh man, and that is the game. I made it through a few days, and on day 4, just the pirate life is clearly not for me. So that is death. All right, so that one ended in that particular way. What I will do is I will go ahead and reset in the middle of this, and then start a new pirate so I can continue a series, because I do want to play through a little bit more of the game and kind of do more stuff. I do have a saved game that I have as well, and in that saved game, I was doing way better with my dice rolls, but I also played a few rules wrong that probably contributed to me doing better. So take that how you will. All right, so what we'll do is for those who are watching, especially watching a live stream, I'm just gonna, in the middle of this, reset and then start again. For those who are watching YouTube, feel free to continue watching as well. But death is the thing that can happen. Hopefully this has been informative though. Hopefully this is useful. All right, start this over. And also this can show how easy it is to reset the game, especially if you die early, because all I gotta do is just move my markers back down to where they were. I didn't get much accomplished anyway. All I really did was like fight a boat, and then they ran away. And so I didn't even successfully fight them. And then I crashed and I drowned because the weather was like, nope, you're not gonna have the rest of the game here. Death is gonna be you. I'm gonna keep the same exact stats, and I'm going to get the same exact build. So I think it was 1 cannon, 10 powder, and I think I ended up with 3,500 gold left. Is that what it was? No, 3,000. I think it's 3,000 gold left. Okay. All right, no need to change anything else. I didn't accomplish anything anyway. All right, so now the question is, do I want to go ahead and get 1 swimming just in case? I think the answer is no. I don't expect to die again in a storm, but if I do die again in a storm, then we'll know that, hey, here lies me with all these bad decisions being made. So we're gonna continue. Like I said, if you're watching this video, I know it says just like, the first session. Technically it's a sneaky 2 sessions. And we are at just over an hour and a half, or just under an hour and a half, so it's not bad. All right, so we got our new game set up. All these things are already done. We've already purchased our stuff. We set our locations. It says the pirate captain has yet to build a pirate haven. Therefore, all ships must be made from Nassau. So I can choose to, if I'm not mistaken, I can choose to build a pirate stash. I remember seeing that somewhere. I just want to see. Oh yeah, here it is. Number 8, I skipped this last time. If desired, you may choose a starting location for your pirate stash. So I do want to choose a starting location for my pirate stash. It'll help me like store more stuff as I get more items and stuff. I'm going to store my pirate stash over here on C. And the idea is to do a pirate stash here and a pirate haven here. That's what I want to try to do. That way I can have a little bit more fun playing the game, have a little bit more of an efficient route, just like a little short jaunt over between the two. Originally I wanted to do this pirate stash here and pirate haven here, but the problem with that is that I need a certain type of ship to go there, and that will cause me problems. So doing it this way means that I can store my stuff a little more efficiently. All right, okay. Okay, now that we restarted the game over. Almost like nothing really happened because nothing did. Let's go ahead and do our first roll. Now, also now that we kind of have a good idea of the flow of how things go, I am going to speed up a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean I'm gonna try to flip to the right page of the book, follow the charts, make sure I'm not messing anything up, but I'm not gonna announce every single thing. So we're gonna roll same combination of rolls. We're gonna roll weather, event, and encounter. So weather's purple, event is green, encounter is gonna be red. Oh, I didn't establish where I'm going. I'm gonna take the same route because of course I am. It was a good idea the first time, might be a good idea the second time. So 24, and then we rolled a 6 on the event, so nothing's happening, and we don't see anybody. So all that happens here is I just move over there. That's it. Nothing else to check. No reason to check anything else. Oh, we gotta check the weather though. 24, that's good and light wind. So good, light wind, cool. And everything else, like I said, we have an idea of what the other chart said, and nothing happens, nothing special. Modifiers won't help me at all, and yeah, we're good. All right, that was day 1 in this alternate universe. So let's go to day 2. So day 2, we're going to, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang out there. So I said the first game I just want to sail around, just to, like, you know, have a little bit of fun, but I decided just now that I want to just hang out here. I just want to hang out here because I want to fight a boat that I can actually take out or steal and get some money. Ooh, 88 on the weather. -5, so 83. 26 for the event and 4 for the other person. So 84, no, 83 is going to be poor, moderate wind. So poor, moderate wind, overcast, moderate seas. We're not going anywhere, so it doesn't matter. So poor, moderate, and like I said, we're not going anywhere, so that's it. The day's over. Round number 3. All right, that looks a lot better. 75, oh, that's a 1. Nope, that's not better. All right, so we got 12, 75, and a 1. So 12 is going to be good, calm wind. And because the previous day was poor, we get a plus 5. So we got 17. 17 is going to get us into good light wind, which is good. We want that. Smooth seas and all the other stuff. So good light wind, smooth seas. Unfortunately, we're not going anywhere. We're just going to continue hanging out. So nothing happens. Roll again. Oh, mark a day. Oh, sorry, you can't see that, so I'll move this out of the way. We rolled oh, we got a 9. Nice. All right, we got a 26 for the events. We got a 15 for the weather. It's going to be a 15 -5 because we had good weather last time. I'm not going anywhere anyway, so -5 if previous weather was good. It was. So we got a 10 on the weather. So that's going to be good, calm wind. So good, calm wind. So we can't go anywhere. That is going to change our table, yes? No? I don't think it is. Sorry. Good, calm wind is where we ended up at. And now we're on, we're going to H4. And H4 says, the pirate ship may now move to the map zone. I thought calm wind I couldn't move. Oh, it says, note, if maximum sail damage sustained, calm wind, or bad weather, the pirate ship must remain, okay, yeah, it says right there, calm wind. So maximum sail damage, or calm wind, or bad weather. And we have calm wind, so we can't go anywhere. Which is fine, I didn't want to go anywhere anyway. All right, cool. And we rolled a 9 on the encounter. 26 on the event is gonna do nothing, because like I said, we need a 98. We have no modifiers for that anyway. There's no mutiny, the crew's fine. And we're gonna have our first encounter. Huzzah! So our first encounter, we'll see what kind of person we're fighting. We are in shallow seas, so we can only face a certain type of boat. I'm hopeful it's gonna be a merchant. So to speed this one up, what we're gonna do is we roll 2d10 to determine the type of ship, and then we roll 2d10 to determine what kind of boat, what faction. Is it a merchant or is it a warship? And then we roll 2d10s to find out what size of ship it is. So type of ship, size of ship. Sorry, yeah, type of ship, size of ship. And then we need to roll 1d10 to determine seamanship. So I'm gonna roll 4, and we are going to have that be, red is gonna be the type of ship. And, sorry, let me get this correct. So red is type of ship. I'm gonna have the blue-white be the size of ship. And then I'll have black be the seamanship skill. Actually, I don't want to do that. It's going to curse my die. I'm going to have green be the seamanship skill. All right, so red. Oh, nope, I need more dice. We'll have white be the seamanship skill. There we go. All right, so this is going to be the type. Type. This. Dropping stuff. This is going to be the size, and then this is going to be the seamanship skill. Okay. All right. We established it. All right, so what do we roll? We rolled 7, 7. We rolled 6, 3. And then we rolled 7 again. We rolled a lot of 7s. I feel like I should get something for that. So 6, 3 is going to be a merchant. So it is a merchant ship. And the modifiers will not apply here. So there's no modifiers that are going to be applying to us. The next one is going to be the type of ship. We rolled for the blues, we rolled 14, and it's a flute. 14s can't exist here, so we'll re-roll that. It's a 3 and a 7, so it's going to be a 10, and a 10 is going to be, I think that one can't exist here. I don't like that. It's a big ship, it's a big boy. All right, so that's going to be a brigantine. Not happy about that. Okay, and then finally, we rolled a 7 for seamanship, which I think is going to be a 3. 7 to 8 is going to be a 4. Ugh. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're probably going to run away from this. We faced this problem last time, didn't we? I might take one shot just to see if I can hit him. Although, no, a brigantine can shoot how many times? 4? Ew. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run away from this pirate ship. I don't want the smoke. I don't want no smoke. We don't want to fight this one. This is not our day. We would like to live. So I'm going to make a strategic withdrawal, and I'm going to choose to not engage with the ship and let them go ahead and sail on by. So all that goes away, and our day is over. As if it never happened. So one of the things that I want to point out is that when I do an encounter, I don't think it says it in here. Yeah, it says a pirate captain may choose to not engage the merchant ship. If doing so, contact is lost and encounter ends. So the reason I'm pointing that part out is because in the forums, it was asked. The question was asked: is do we get to know the seamanship of the enemy before we engage with them? And I think Joe jumped on the forums and said yes, you get to know the seamanship before. You don't get to know the swordsmanship. Swordsmanship, is that what it is? Yeah, swordsmanship until you board of the person you're fighting. But for the seamanship, you get to know that before you evade. And a 4 is too high for me. We're gonna. That's a non for me, dog. We're gonna run away from that. All right. Glad we established that. Cool. So now we're back onto our sailing days. So we're gonna go ahead and roll our 5 again. And same 5. We got weather, event, and then we got encounter. We got an 8 for encounter. I don't know if I have any modifiers to give me positives. I think I need a natural 9 or 10. We'll check that in a second. So weather, we got an 86, which previous day was good. So we got an 86. We're not going anywhere, so it's gonna be 81. And that's gonna be poor, moderate wind again. So poor, moderate. And then we just go over. We are hunting for people. That's what we're doing. We're just gonna keep hanging out. And yeah, we're not going anywhere, so we're fine. And for the encounter, we got a 54, nothing. And oh, sorry, that's a 54, nothing. And then for that one, we got an 8. So I want to check this because I don't know if I have any modifiers that would help me. So 8, oh, we do have a modifier that would not help me. It's a -1, so it's actually a 7. Thanks, game. All right, well, no enemies here. So now we go right on back to the next day. The pirate life, it's a very patient one. We're hunting, that's what we're doing. All right, do it again. Oh, we rolled a 10. We're gonna get an encounter in not great weather though. That's actually not good. We got a 95 as well, so that's pretty cool. So 95 on the event, nothing happens there. But for the weather, 91, and I think it's gonna be 91 plus 5. Because previous weather was poor. So 95, or 91 plus 5, so 96. Oh no, it's gonna be bad, strong, no. Strong wind, we're gonna be in a storm. Bad, strong wind, large storm, rough seas. Oh, well, we might die before we get this encounter, but let's see if we do. All right, so we got ourselves bad, strong. This ended us last time, and I have no ability to swim, so we'll see if I can make it out of this one alive. All right, H2. So bad weather. We're gonna roll 2d10s. We're gonna roll the two black dice because I'm a pirate. Hopefully it works out for me. We rolled 11. So 11 is 1 main crew unit washed overboard and lost. -1 crew loyalty. That sucks. All right, well, I only have 1 crew unit total, and I lost 1 loyalty, so I'm down from 5 to 4. And then afterwards, we go to H3, and now we check to see if if our ship explodes. So I'm gonna roll a white die here. We rolled a 5. Okay, so we rolled a 5. Sorry, we don't need those anymore. I rolled a 5. So I rolled a 5, and the 5 is going to tell me that we have modifiers here. -1 per navigation skill point. So we have 3 navigation. So we have a 2, so we're good. Pirate ship is safe. Go to table H4. Whew. So this one says for bad weather. So we're in bad weather. We can't go anywhere. So that's bad weather, right? Yeah, it's bad and strong, yeah. So bad weather, so we can't go anywhere, that's fine. And then we rolled on the event. I think we had a 90, 94. We had something that wasn't enough. So we need a 98 or 100. No modifiers there. And then finally on the event, enemies encounter, we rolled a natural 10. So we are gonna have an encounter this day. We get to ignore all the other stuff, which is great. Now we get to finally do our fight. All right, let's do our fighting. So we are going to first figure out the type. So again, we're going to use the same scheme from before. So red is to find out the type of enemy, and then we're going to find out the size of ship, and then we're going to find out the seamanship skill. So we're going to do red for type. We're going to do white for, type of ship. I guess faction. I'll call it faction. Faction, type of ship, and then we'll do white for the seamanship skill. So we rolled 11. Ooh, that's not good. This is a big ship. All right, so everything else is stuck, but for right here, we rolled ourselves a 9 plus 8. So that's going to be 17. We rolled an 11 for the type of ship, but let's see, 17. So 17 is going to be the merchant that we encounter here. So it's going to be a merchant ship, thankfully. And we have no infamy, none of that. Okay, cool, so we're good. So we're just fighting a merchant. So we are fighting a merchant. Next, we're going to figure out the type of ship, and we got an 11, that's what I said. So an 11, another brigantine? All right, fine, we'll fight this one. I don't like it, but we'll fight them. Because we keep facing brigantines. I mean, I can keep trying to roll to find a smaller ship, but I feel like I'm just going to be burning daylight, or deathlight, if you will. So I don't want to be too boring here by playing it too safe. We're gonna go for it. Maybe they'll surrender. Seamanship skill is for them. They got a seamanship skill of, oh, did I use the wrong table? Oh no, I used the right table. They rolled a 7. They rolled a 6, I lied. And the 6 that they rolled is gonna give them a seamanship skill of 3, which is not great, but I can deal with that. I can work with that. So seamanship skill of 3 is better than a seamanship skill of 4. I will risk it for the biscuit and try to fight them. So sloop for me, brigantine for them. My powder is at 10. I haven't shot anybody yet, but we'll see if I can shoot somebody. And they have more firepower than I do for sure. And even if I take them out, well, if I take them out, then I'll be able to get experience points, and I'll apply those first, which means I can take over their ship, potentially. But we'll see. Excuse me. All right, and then Brigantine, they have 16. They shoot 4 at a time. 3, 4. So just to clarify for those who are watching, the reason why I'm fighting this one and not the other one is because the other one had a seamanship skill of 4, which made all the world difference for me getting them to surrender. This one has a seamanship skill of 3, not that much better, only marginally better, but at least I have a chance. I have a chance of them running away. All right, Brigantine has 8 health. It's not great. And a crew size of 4. All right, I have half crew. I have 1 crew unit. This is not great. So they got 8 hull, and I have 4 hull. And we're going to try to be our best pirate selves. We're going to try to be our best pirate selves and take them out. If we can do this, if we can take over their ship, we will be on the fast track to having a much better game. But for right now, that's all set. That's all spawned. We got them generated. And now we're going to go over here into the merchant surrender to see if they surrender first. So the question is, do they surrender? I hope the answer is yes. Please let the answer be yes. So we're going to roll. In a natural 10, they surrender. Fingers crossed for a natural 10. Hey, we got a natural 10. All right, they surrendered. Whew. Okay. Whew. All right, yeah, that's right. That's right. They didn't want none of the smoke. They didn't want none of the smoke. That's right. All right, so they rolled a natural 10. And yeah, unmodified 10 merchant ship surrenders. Whew. Sometimes the dice roll in your favor. Sometimes it just murders you in a storm. I don't know. It's a weird way of the world. Okay, so we're over here. So if all merchant units are killed in action, merchant capture ship surrenders. Oh, sorry. No, we read A, B, C, or sorry, A, B, D, and then we go to table I7. So A, no, B, we have the type of ship is a brigantine. So it's a brigantine merchant ship. So we're going to get 1200 XP. And then it says go to table P. Where was it at? Oh, it doesn't say it here. Oh, there's P13. CP13. Oh, actually. Oh, I can't level up beforehand? Oh, man. Oh, no. Yeah, I can. Okay, whew. All right. Yeah, because it has C at the end of this. It's a CP13. All right. The reason why is because I need a seamanship skill of 3 before I can handle this ship that I'm about to take over. Or even take it as a prize. There we go. So P13. So P13 down here is going to be the pirate ship, the pirate captain experience points and advancement. So this one says +1 pirate level per 1000 XP. And then, +1 captain level per 1000 XP. And then +1 captain skill points earned per captain level. 5 points is the maximum for any single skill. Here's some information about a pirate. So all that's saying, in my interpretation, my read on that is because it says it here in this line, it means that once I get the XP, I can spend it immediately, and I will, because I need that seamanship skill to be up. So we are going to get ourselves our XP. So we have 1,000 is what we're getting. We're gonna just make that 200 because we're about to spend 1,000. We're at level 1 finally, and our seamanship skill is gonna be 3. Right. So now we can take over that boat, which is what I want. I want a better boat. Okay, so that's done. And then it says +1 captain infamy. If sloop, schooner, or brigantine. So we got a brigantine, so we get +1 infamy. So it's gonna make it a little bit easier to find or to intimidate people, which is pretty good. And then if man of war, it was not. And then if man of war, it was not. Okay, so now we go to our next table, which is I7. So we go straight to I7. All right, I7. It says surrender captain ship, plunder cargo. So pirate ship may replenish, so I can replenish my powder and stores with whatever the other ship had. I'm not gonna bother doing that because I'm just gonna take their ship. And their ship has maximum powder of 16, so it's fine. And what else are we looking at? So now we're gonna do rolls. So these are gonna be percentage rolls, and I get to do 4 percentage rolls because I fought a brigantine. So 4 percentage rolls to figure out what kind of things they had, and then for each percentage roll, I'll need to roll 2d10 to find out how much of the thing they had. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my 4 percentage rolls first. I'm gonna do those all at once to speed things up. So I got just 4 sets of percent dice for this purpose. All right, there we go. We got our 4 sets of percent dice. They're clearly linked by color. So, man, I'm glad I rolled a 10. That felt so good. All right, so this is what I rolled. So I got myself 86, 78. Sorry, I'm trying to put this in order here. So 86, 78, 68, and 78. Oh, I got 2 78s, nice. And then 86. All right. So those are my rolls. So I will get the corresponding items for those things. So for 68, let's see, 68, I will get myself sailcloth. So I'm just gonna mark these down, not the amount yet because I don't know how much. So sailcloth, and then I got 2 78s. So 78 is going to be rum. So I got 2 rums. So you can see sailcloth, and then rum. Where's rum? Oh, there it is. So I got 2 marks for rum, and then I got 86, which at 86 is going to be spices. Nice. So spice. Okay. So here's my table here. Here's my little chart. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to dodge things. And all I do is just put a little X here to show that I have these things. And I'm going to gain these things. Now, all these things are technically on the enemy ship. So actually, do I have a sheet for that? I don't. I thought I did. Oh, yeah, it's the prize ship. So I'm going to take this as a prize ship. But I'm going to take over the ship, but I'm just going to temporarily put it on this card here. So a prize ship is basically a ship that I can claim and send back to Nasu and then sell it. So prize ships are pretty good because they can give you a nice bit of income, especially when you get redundant ships, and you can just send some of your crew onto it and then they'll go take it over. So on this particular card, I'm just going to use this to track the amount of stuff that they're giving me here. So we know that this ship is a brigantine ship. Okay. And they took no damage. They have no damage there, so none of that. So 0, 0. And I want to clarify, for those who are watching, what I'm doing is I'm just tracking how much resources they have, because my ship, my sloop currently can only hold 40 things. The brigantine can hold up to 60 things. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to check this, or I want to keep track of how much total stuff is there, and then I'll figure out what's going to go where. And actually, technically speaking, my sloop I'm going to end up burning because, well, I guess I can give it to the enemy and let them sail off with it, so my crew's not mad. Not mad at me, but that'll make sense in a second. All I'm trying to say is I'm going to temporarily hold the information here. That's all I'm saying. All right. So what do we have? We had, let me get this card back. So we had sailcloth, we had spices, and we had 2 rums. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sets of dice and I'm going to apply them accordingly. So we're going to do white for sugar, we're going to do red for rum, and then we're going to do black for sailcloth. So this is going to be sugar, then rum is going to be the black dye, and then sailcloth is going to be red. No, rum is red, sorry. Sailcloth is black. There we go. And I'm just doing this to show you what dice are going to correspond to what. So I need to roll 4 red dice. I need to roll 2 black dice and 2 white dice. All right. I got my dice in my hand. So let me move this out of the way because we don't need that anymore. Let me move this over. Like that, so I got space to roll. All right. Oh, there we go. Much better. All right. I didn't do that on purpose, but I had to finish the puzzle here. So let's hide this. So I get, oh man, I got a lot of rum. Holy crap. 10, 20, 31 rum. That's a lot of rum. All right, so 31 rum. I get 7 sailcloth and I get 5 sugar. Wow. They're just holding on to rum over here. So 31 rum, 7 sailcloth, and 5 sugar. Okay, so we got that all written down. So let's mark it on this card here. 31, 7, 5. All right, feel pretty good about that. Okay. And that is what this is all going to be. Now we continue. Whoops. Now we continue. So at this time, the rulebook didn't specify exactly when I needed to decide what I'm going to hold and what I'm not going to hold. But because I'm planning on taking over that boat, and that boat has a storage capacity of 60, I'm not going to bother throwing anything away. I'm just going to keep it on the brigantine for now. So that is what the current plan is. So the brigantine is going to hold on to all those things for now, and that's under 60, so they're fine. I have one thing to bring over and some gold. That's really it. So yeah, okay, cool. So we're done with that part. So we've generated the items, and I really appreciate the generation of items in this game. It's pretty fun. All right. So we go to table I9. So table I9 is down here. So now we check to see if there's specialist crew aboard. So we will roll to see if there's a specialist crew member. I will roll this purple die. There's a 9. There is a specialist crew member on board. Great. So specialist crew, I rolled a 9. Modifiers wouldn't apply here. So there's one specialist crew member aboard, so I'm going to go to table I10 right there, and I'm going to figure out who is the specialist on board. I think I should roll a black die here because they're going to become a part of my party. 6. So I rolled a 6, and 6 is going to give me a master gunner. Yes, that's going to help me shoot things. I like master gunners. They're pretty cool. It's always good to have some shooters on board. All right, so I got a master gunner. Now, the way this works, and the rulebook specifies it in certain places, but the general idea is that when a ship surrenders, you can press the crew to join your side. And at least this is my interpretation, my understanding, based on what I've read and based on what I've seen in the forums, based on what I've been trying to decipher from the rulebook, which shouldn't have to be a source of deciphering. It should be just like plain text. Here's what happens. But anyway, my rage about the rulebooks aside, which I'll definitely talk about in my review for sure. But basically, he's on the ship, and I can press him to join me. So I think here in the footnotes it should say it. This is a pirate ships may only have one, or may only keep one specialist crew of each type onto their ship. If we already have one, then we can send that person on to the haven. It says if pirate ship already has one specialist of the type rolled on board or at haven, then I must either execute them or release them, and then I can press the specialist crewman. Press specialist crewman may be dismissed at any time, just so I spend as much gold. Just tell me how to get rid of people. So all I'm trying to say is that they're joining my crew. That's what happens. All right, I11. So now we get into the other part. So some people had some controversy about this. I didn't think about it too much. It's like you torture the enemy captain. I mean, I guess torture is not great. We should not torture things, but we're talking about the age of piracy where, brides were being taken at 8 years old. So I feel like there's other moral issues with the world at that time period. But you know what? Hey, torture is still bad. Sure, I can disavow that. I can disavow that outright. Torture is bad. Anyway, moving on to this, we're gonna torture. We're gonna torture, and the way torturing works here is that you can do it up to 3 times. If you do it a third time, then the captain that you're torturing will die automatically. So I'm gonna do 2 tortures. I'm gonna roll them at the same time, and I essentially need an 80 or higher to find anything. So I'm gonna roll 2. I'm gonna roll the red dice for thematicness of torture, which I'm not celebrating or encouraging, to clarify. And I rolled a 77, not great, and I rolled a 64, also not great. So are there any modifiers here? So the modifiers are +2 torture after the first session. So we'll say that this one was my first session. This is my second session. So my first session did not succeed. My second session also did not succeed. Sad. So if I torture him a third time, then he dies. There's no negative consequences outside of the moral feeling of knowing that I killed somebody for more information. You know what? It's not that deep. I'm not going to torture him for a third time. I'll let him live. Didn't give me any information, and I don't feel I would get information. I feel like there's a low chance of me actually getting the role that I wanted. So we'll let him live. We'll let him live. He wouldn't fess up. I respect that. All right, so now we're done with that. We're going to go to I-13. And then I-13, we're finally here. So now we get to decide what to do with the boats. So here's where things are going to be very, very specific. So any remaining, sorry, hold on, let's read through this. If the merchant ship surrenders, the pirate captain has several options. That's the last sentence there. And this one says, any remaining merchant ship captain or crewman who aren't present to service may be executed. If executed, the merchant ship may either be burned, taken as a prize, taken as a pirate ship, or the ship, or set free if adequate crew units remain to man it. Adequate crew units on the other side. But if the merchant ship surrendered the first round without a fight, and the captain and crew are executed, -2 pirate loyalty. So my people on my boat don't like that. So I didn't want to kill the guy. And is that an and? Oh, it says and. And her captain and crew are executed, not or. Okay, that's good to know. So if the merchant ship, if taking the merchant ship as a prize, do this. I'm not doing that. The surrendered merchant ship may become a new pirate ship with all cargo and crew transferred over. The old pirate ship might either be burned or given to the remaining merchant ship crew and released unharmed. Note: if the captured merchant ship's seamanship skill requirement exceeds mine, then I cannot take it as a prize. But it must be either burned or sunk or released. So this is why I wanted to get my seamanship skill up, because I now have the seamanship skill necessary to take over this bigger boat. So a brigantine requires a seamanship skill of 3. Cool. And now that we got that, we got a new boat. And we're gonna press the crew. There's 4 crew on their boats, and I only have 1 crew on my boat. So we're gonna press them to join us. So we now have 5 crew units. So we have replenished our crew numbers. So we got 5 crew units on our boat. And we don't gain any loyalty from that, do we? No, we already gained the infamy, so we're all good. And that's all done. So now that we're done with that, we go back to H1 and we continue with our days. And I think that's a good stopping point here for this video. So this is gonna be part 1 of me being a pirate. Part 1 of me being a pirate. I'll make a series out of it. I don't know if I'll do a second one here, but I am gonna take a break at least for lunch. But for those who are watching here on YouTube, feel free to check out the next video that comes up. For those who are watching on live on Twitch, I am gonna take a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back and then continue playing. Yeah, that'll pretty much be it for today, for right now. Hopefully this has been informative. Hopefully this has been useful to know what's going on with this game and how the game works. I think it's a pretty fun game. I think it's a pretty swell game. It's a lot of dice rolling and stuff, and I'll do a review of it after my second session, so I can kind of make sure I have a good feel for everything, and you all can see stuff. And actually no, I'll do my second playthrough first, and then I'll come back and I'll do a review for the third video, and then I'll continue my playthrough afterwards, assuming I survive. Yeah, that's it. All right. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, actually, hold on before I cut out. Hold on. Almost forgot. I gotta put the stuff on my boat, because I got a new boat. Sorry, I got 31. Ooh, that went bad. 31. And then sailcloth, I got 7. And then spices, I got 5. And I got my cannon there already. And we are now a brigantine. And we got powder, we got 16. All right, cool. All right, now things are properly set. Phew, that was almost bad. All right, okay, now on that note, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you all whenever.